Hi, welcome to this webinar where we'll be talking about IIBA and CBAP. CBAP is a certification which is provided by IIBA, that is International Institute for Business Analysis. This certification is specifically given to the experienced business analyst to showcase that they have an internationally recognized skill set which can be used for business analysis. Agenda for today, we will talk about what is business analysis, who is business analyst. Then we'll again go through with these specific terms like what is CBAP, what is IIBA, and what is this BABOK. Then we'll talk about CBAP exam structure. We'll also go through the prerequisites for this certification, and we'll also help you to understand how you can prepare for it. Okay, we'll start by introducing myself. My name is Shardul. I'm currently business analyst in one of the leading European banks. My domain knowledge consists of core banking, capital markets, and risk. I'm a CBAP and I'm a trainer in Techcanvass. What is business analysis? So if you go through landscape of any business, you'll come to know that it always go through with various phases to enhance its business. And it also faces various challenges or constraints. Those constraints could be technological, maybe some strategic partnerships, some legal constraints, or political, or some new compliance which has come in, or they want to increase their consumer base, or they want to increase or improve their vendor management, or some competition has come up in their business model. So a business, when it comes with such constraints or it faces such constraints, it has two things to do it, either to exploit it or try to minimize the challenges faced by these constraints. Now, when I say you want to take benefit out of it, it's also possible that a new technological change has come, which helps you to increase or improve your business. And to overcome the challenges, it is also possible that the situations like some legal constraint have come or some regulations have come, then you have to solve them with respect to making your business adaptable for these changes. And then accordingly, take your organization from one level to another so that it can accommodate all these changes. Now, in all this discussion, where business analysis fits. So you can imagine that when you want to change from the way you currently do the business to the new way or to the expected way, there has to be some specific strategy to move from current situation to the future situation. And those strategies can be defined by business analysis. So business analysis helps you to understand your current business, what all changes you need to do in it, what all specific solutions maybe you need to transform yourself from the current state to the future state, and how you can go towards that particular state. We'll go to what is business analysis in much more detail in upcoming slides. Yeah, so in this particular slide, you can see that business, it has identified a particular change. Now this change could be its need or some problem it is facing. For example, it wants certain expansion, then it is a need. Or problem could be that certain processes are manual and it wants to automate them. Or some operational errors are coming which business wants to solve. In that scenario, it will start with from what you see on your left side, the circle, to the leftmost bottom, and it wants to go to the green circle, which you can see on your rightmost top. So that is the growth which they are looking for from the current state to the future state. And if they don't achieve that, then this business as usual, the straight line which you can see at the bottom, that will stay as it is. But they don't want to stay at the business as usual. They want to transform themselves when that moment comes from the red dot to the green dot. And here, this business analysis will help them to understand the business need, to jot down the change which is needed, and to the specific solutions which business can use to move from this red dot to the green dot. Let's see what it means. So basically, if you see, business analysis is nothing but asking some questions and finding solutions for them. That's on a crux level. So you'll identify, talking to the people who are facing this problem or who want to make some change in their organization, that what exactly they want, what all the other parameters they would like to have, and then you'll talk to the solutioning people or solution specific people, that how you can get it done. So this diagram will give you a clear idea that it is talking to the problem which domain is facing with respect to what. So it identifies each and every what's in the given change or given need. And then it talks with the solutioning team within the domain, wherein it works works with the different teams to determine how they can make this change. And that particular solution will be used to transform an organization from current state to future state. This particular picture is from the BABOK. This is Business Analysis Core Competency Model. You can see they have mentioned this 6 parameters, 6 competencies which business analyst must have or must work with. And this will help you to do a standardized way of business analysis. Now, if you can start with, let's say, the needs. Needs are nothing but the problem or challenges which business is facing, or the change they want to do. Then there is next one, that is changes. So when they have given you the needs, then you have to identify the changes, what the changes are needed to satisfy that need. Next one is solutions, wherein you will find out what all solutions you can formulate for making those changes. The next one is context. Context is something which gives you more idea about the needs and changes. It tells you with respect to why such needs or changes have been come, or why those changes are needed by the business. The next one is value. In value, you will identify, is the given solution providing value back to the person who has given the needs, or back to the organization who is going to accommodate that particular change or solve the problems they are facing. Are they getting back the value for the investment they have done? Then the next one is stakeholders. Stakeholders is nothing but everyone who is getting affected by this change. So it is possible they are getting affected directly or indirectly. Then the next one is with respect to, as a business analyst, with whom I actually interact with. You can see some examples over here, but it's possible that there are more than the people who are shown in this picture. So currently on a high level, we can see that we of course talk to our project managers, giving the scope and status of our work. Then we talk to the business user for the user requirements they have given. Then we talk to the other stakeholders, which could be your sponsors or your high management, for managing their expectations and reporting them the constraints. Then we also talk to the testing team with respect to the functional and non-functional requirements. Software development will again work with functional and non-functional requirements. And the project sponsor, who gives you the business requirement. The person who is paying for the change and who has this specific problem or need which we are trying to solve. Now, if I'm a business analyst, what exactly are the qualifications which are needed to do the business analysis? Now you can see everybody who is working as these roles which are shown here can be a business analyst, because IIBA or BABOK clearly states that to become a business analyst, you must be performing specific business analysis activities. So in all these roles, everybody plays different activities, or everybody performs certain activities which are defining themselves as business analyst. Now, if you are a developer, programmer, or system analyst, here you work with the solutioning part of the chain. So you are also checking the feasibility of a problem or the solution of the problem. Then you are working as a business analyst, even if you don't know it. Same is with the uh, solution management expert. Here he is also having functional knowledge of the system. So he is helping the system to be functionally correct. So he is also kind of business analyst. Then tester and QA analysts are also the similar things. They have the functional test cases with which they work with the requirements, functional requirements, and that's why they are also performing business analyst activities. Sales and marketing professional, since they interact directly with the customer, then they are also having a kind of user or customer requirements. Project manager is of course can be business analyst because he is performing various management activities which can also be performed by a business analyst. PMO and project coordinator are almost similar roles that of a project manager. Then proposal and technical writer, here you work with the business need and the timelines and the money which is needed or the budgets. So hence these people are also performing business analysis activities. Data research analysts, here you are working with various data to find out specific conclusions. Then this is also kind of business analysis activities. And MBA graduates are also a type of business analysts. So if you are part of any of these uh, specific professions or specific designations, then of course you can transform yourself to a business analyst. Now, if I'm a business analyst or if I want to be a business analyst, what is my career path? So you can see there are various stages with which you can grow. So you first start with as a business system analyst or a junior business analyst. Here you work closely with this SDLC life cycle. You specifically work on the solutions. Then the next step would be business analyst or senior business analyst. Here you are involved more with the domain level analysis and specifically with the elicitation processes, which are a kind of high level extraction of the business requirements. Then the next step would be business architect. Here you will be working with the domain level business architecture, process architecture, high level business need analysis. And the last one is enterprise analyst or enterprise architect. Here you are responsible for the complete enterprise architecture. That is an architecture which is supported by or which is supporting the complete organization. As a business analyst, what I am supposed to do? So these are the various some of the things which a business analyst has to do. There could be more things than what is shown in the diagram or in the picture, but these are the typical ones like business case development, requirement management, user acceptance testing, stakeholder management plan, working with QA team, end user training, requirement elicitation, access solution design, business process design and analysis, requirement documentation, process improvement, and KPI modeling. What is the specific skill set which I need to do for performing efficient business analysis? So we start with these three parameters that you need to have the business knowledge, that is domain knowledge. So if you are from banking, then you need to know your domain, specific domain in banking. It could be payment or it could be risk or it could be even core banking. Then the next one would be behavioral skills. These are with respect to your soft skills like communication skills or stakeholder management, or you can say how we are using our analytical abilities. Then the last one is technical skills. Here you need to know or understand various tools or softwares which are present in market to perform efficient business analysis. One of such tools is this UML drawing tools like MS Visio. How can I become a business analyst? So first of all, you need to have knowledge of specific tools which can be used for business process analysis. So there are various tools available in market One of the example which I gave is MS Visio, but there are also possibilities that you can use tools which models the business processes. The next one is to know specific methodologies like Agile, Iterative, or Waterfall. In the skills, you need to have specific business skills, the domain knowledge, and of course the soft skills and the technology skills. And the last one is education. Majority of the time it is on the job training, but nowadays due to IIBA there are certificate programs and of course college courses like MBA. Now as a Techcanvass Institute, we can help you for the certificate programs. And here this CBAP comes in picture. So CBAP is nothing but Certified Business Analyst Professional. Let's talk about IIBA then. IIBA is a specific institution which is of course not for profit. They were founded in 2003 and they had their own vision, mission and goals. Based upon that, they have come up with this specific standards for business analysis, that is BABOK, Business Analysis Book of Keeping or Book of Knowledge. And these specific standards are shared with every interested person who is interested in business analysis. And based upon that, they provide various certifications, which varies from entry level to the professional level. And this one is specifically for professional level. Now we'll talk about what is CBAP. So CBAP is an internationally recognized certification. Slowly and steadily, it is becoming popular amongst the business analysis community. It is very much helpful if you are from senior or mid level. Then it also gives you a kind of edge on other business analysts or your colleagues with respect to having this specific set of tools and techniques with you, which are given by this particular certification. There are very few people who are certified currently across globally. Then it is issued such a way that you are able to apply this concept on a real-time case. That is, you are able to understand the various techniques which are given in the BABOK and you can apply them in your current work easily. Yeah. Now BABOK is, as I said, it's a standard set, or it's a set of documentation which gives you specific standardized methods or techniques which we can use for efficiently performing our business analysis work. So now these standards have been cumulated by various professionals, or you can say experts from business analysis, and they have come up with this specific book. But again, it's a kind of a guide, it's not a reference book, but you can use this for your day-to-day business analysis activities. It is not a kind of set standard that you must apply, but it guides you to do your job in much efficient way. It also consists of various best practices from our industry, that is the business analysis industry, and it is applicable to each and every specific organizations. Like you can use it for manufacturing sector, for health and insurance sector, for banking, or any other sector which you are belonging to and performing this business analysis. So we'll see through what BABOK is on a very high level. So BABOK is consisting of these 6 knowledge areas. First one is business analysis planning and monitoring. Here we talk about how you can approach to the business analysis with respect to planning various activities, writing down high level agreements with respect to how you are going to carry out the business analysis, what would be the various phases with which you will go through during your business analysis, and how you're going to monitor all of them. Then the next one is strategy analysis. It is with respect to understanding the current state of your organization, how it is currently behaving with respect to its current processes and systems. And we also try to identify the future state over here. That is what is expected from the system in future. And then we find out the differences and do the gap analysis and find out specific requirements to transform ourselves from current state to future state. The next one is the requirement analysis and design definition. Here we actually extract all the requirements which are which can be extracted via the specific methods which are given in BABOK, and we try to write them down and we try to get them verified or validated from the various stakeholders who are involved in our requirement analysis activities. Next one is elicitation and collaboration. Here we try to know more about the business need which was given to us by the business. We try to get in-depth knowledge why a particular need or change has been asked. We try to talk to various stakeholders, what all impacts they are foreseeing if we make those changes. And we try to write down all the necessary information which we are going to use to do the requirement analysis. The next phase or next knowledge area is solution evaluation. Here we get to formulate different solutions with which we can suggest the organization to make the change, and we try to put specific parameters with which you can evaluate these various solutions or the recommended solution. These parameters can be used in future when the solution is implemented to identify whether the solution is working as per expectations. And the last one is requirements lifecycle management. This is with respect to the change management aspect of requirements. It also talks about if a change has come in, how it can be handled in the current business analysis process. So on a high level, these 6 knowledge areas have been identified by BABOK. And if you see, there is no specific starting point or end point. So it depends on what type of project you are working upon. You can choose the starting point and you can connect to the other knowledge areas. Then we also need some underlying competencies to do this business analysis. So we touched upon a few, but if we go into the depths as per BABOK, they need this analytical thinking, wherein you have this various capabilities like decision mapping, problem solving, creative thinking, system thinking, and learning. Then you also need to have these behavioral characteristics like trustworthiness, which is helpful for interacting with different stakeholders, personal organization, and ethics. Then interaction skills are also needed, that you are able to work in a big or small team very efficiently. You also have leadership and you are able to influence others. Then you also need to have facilitation and negotiation skills, which are handy when you are dealing with a group of various stakeholders put together for specific workshops or specific discussions. Then communication skills is also important parameter. You should have a good oral, written, and teaching communication skills. Business knowledge is talking specifically with respect to your domain knowledge. So you should know what your organization is. You should know what is the industry that organization belongs to. Then you should also have a solution knowledge. What is the current solution or current system they are working with, and their business principles. And the last but not least is software applications. There are various applications which are available in market, and it's possible that a specific organization is using for performing business analysis activities in their particular domains or their particular work area. Those tools and those applications you should be able to very much to be familiar with. Now let's talk about the requirements for applying to the CBAP. So you have to first apply for this certification. The application also stated that you need to have this 7,500 hours of business analysis work in last 10 years as an experience. Then it should be a demonstrated experience in these knowledge areas. They need to have to be 4 out of the 6. Then you also additionally need to have 21 hours of professional development in last 4 years. Now here, this 21 hours, is the part wherein Techcanvass can help you very much with. Due to this particular training which Techcanvass is offering, you can gain this 21 hours and you can apply, you can use them in your application. And Techcanvass also helps you in applying on the IIBA website, and they also give their own references. So whoever is the CBAP trainer, he will be one of your references, which we'll see in future slides. Then you also need to have minimum high school diploma or equivalent. Then you need to have these 2 professional reference. So as I just said, one of the reference will be somebody from Techcanvass. Then you need to have the signed code of conduct, which is available on IIBA website. And once this application is put on the IIBA, they'll analyze your application, they'll do some background checks, and accordingly they'll approve your application. And once application has been approved, you get a time period of 1 year with which you need to pass the CBAP exam. Otherwise, the application expires and you have to apply again. Now, let's talk about the experience related requirements. Now, as we saw that there were 4 knowledge areas which were needed out of 6. So these are also split into various business analysis activities. So the application process itself will ask you with respect to what all activities you have done for the last 10 years, and you have to choose those activities and put specific hours in front of them for the last 10 or 7 years. And then accordingly, you can write down the hours, and then accordingly the application can automatically identify which knowledge area is having this specifically accumulated hours and which knowledge areas are applicable for the application. What I mean to say is they'll identify if you have enough hours for these 4 knowledge areas out of 6. Then they'll also tell you that which activities are not applicable. So certain activities would also be added in the complete set of activities which you are going to see on the IIBA website. But if you fill hours for them, they will not be calculated. But here from Techcanvass, we'll be able to help you with respect to the application. We'll be able to guide you with respect to how to fill those particular hours in various activities based upon your experience. And we'll try to also help you with respect to gauging whether you are having sufficient experience or not for applying to this particular certification. Now, as we talk about these knowledge areas, which are 6 in BABOK, so you need to have a kind of work which is done in each of these particular knowledge areas. So at least 4 are needed for the application. So since you know what all those knowledge areas on a high level, you should be able to also gauge all by yourself whether you have already worked upon these knowledge areas or not. So it will also give you a fair idea from your side to understand whether this particular certification is applicable for you or not. Or you can switch to the other entry-level certifications which are also offered by IIBA. Yeah, now we are talking about the professional development hours, the 21 hours. So there are various ways with which you can gain those hours. But if you are enrolling to this CBAP training, which is offered by Techcanvass, a person who is already CBAP will be training you with respect to a specific training which is aligned to the BABOK, and you will be able to or eligible for those 21 hours. And due to their references, you can easily apply for this particular part. And as I already said, one of the reference will be this trainer from Techcanvass, and the other ones can be picked up from your career manager, that is HR, or your supervisor, or somebody from your clients, which could be an internal or external client. So somebody who can vouch for you that you belong to this particular organization is needed. So you have to have somebody who is from your workplace, and the other one will be provided by Techcanvass. Now the certification process, as we just spoke of, you will be first applying for certification. You'll pay the application fees, you'll give the references, and then after that, once application is approved, you'll pay the examination fees and you'll get the dates for the exams. The identification of dates is purely upon the candidate. He can himself choose the date on which he wants to give the exam. It's just that he has to have specific available training centers near to him on those specific dates. And once the application is approved and dates are finalized, candidate can take the exam, and on the same moment he is notified of the result. So you don't have to wait for a few days so that IIBA can come up with your result. You get the result on the same instant after you submit the particular exam. Exam details, we have 150 multiple choice questions. Every choice question has 4 possible answers. So it's possible that one of them is true or multiple of them are true. An exam duration is 3.5 hours. So it's easy to understand that you get 2 to 3 minutes per question. It's a completely computer-based testing environment with which you will be giving this exam. But it is also possible for paper exams, but that is on specific countries. And all that information is on IIBA website. As we just spoke of, scoring is immediate for this computer-based testing. So quickly you see the results once you submit your exam. Then if there is some sort of failure, or let's say you are not able to pass the exam, then it will give you information in the specific knowledge areas where you are lagging, so that when you reapply for the exam, you can put more stress on those specific knowledge areas. Fee details. So this information which is shown on this slide can be different from that what is present on IIBA website, but as an indication, you can see that $125 is the application fee, which is not refundable. Then $325 is exam fee for IIBA members. So you can take already the membership, which is I think $90, and $450 exam fee for non-members. And rewrite fees are $250 for IIBA members and $375 for non-members. And of course, candidate has to wait for 3 months before rewriting the exam. But to get the exact figures, it's better to go back to the IIBA website and check the exact prices. Recertification is needed because the certification which is achieved by passing this exam is valid only for 3 years. So after that, you have to do a recertification. It's not exactly an exam, but you have to gain certain CDUs, that is continuous development units. There are various ways with which you can gain them. All of them are mentioned on the IIBA website. But on a high level, if you have taken some formal academic education in last 3 years, then you can get certain CDUs. If you did certain professional development, like specific course enrollments or specific certifications, those can also be counted as in CDUs. Then professional activities. Here, it talks about various activities which you have done in your day-to-day working, which are helping you to grow. Then those can also be counted here. The exact guidelines are given in the IIBA website. There is also possibility for self-directed learning to be counted for CDUs. Then volunteer service, it is specifically for IIBA chapters. If you're doing certain voluntary work over there, that can also be counted. Then professional experience, it is with respect to how you have gained a specific experience in last few years. Based upon certain parameters, you can also translate that in CDUs. Then how to prepare for it? So first of all, maybe you can enroll yourself to any of the IIBA endorsed education providers, EEPs. One of them is Techcanvass. You get a guidance from CBAPs, as they are your trainer, and they will be also available for your day-to-day query solvings. Then self-study for 1 to 2 months, depending upon your speed, but it could be more than that, because it also depends on how much familiar you are with various concepts which are there in BABOK. Then study material, which will be provided by Techcanvass, which you can use to prepare better for this particular examination. Then they'll also provide you with respect to specific flashcards or memory maps with which it will help you to remember specific concepts. Few tips from our side is better to you go through with BABOK before you start for preparing this exam. So just go through the book, read it thoroughly like a usual novel or casual reading, and try to understand what it is. Then when you start actually preparing for it, so focus only on BABOK as your primary source of material, because all the exam will be based on BABOK. The additional things which are coming in, those would be needing a kind of additional readings, but it will always be derived from the BABOK. Then during the training or during the reading, if you stumble upon such specific new words then or new concepts, then try to identify them or try to find more information on them on different sources like internet. Then you can also use flashcards, memory maps, or any suitable memory techniques which you are comfortable with before the last week of the exam, or maybe any time before you feel that you will be ready for the exam. Then of course you don't need to remember the complete BABOK. It's not possible also, but it's not needed as well, because all the questions will be based upon specific scenarios. So it's better if you understand the concept first and then try to remember them. And finally, all the specific effort will be coming from the candidate itself, that is you, because from Techcanvass we can just guide you. We cannot assure you that you will be passing it because it is completely in your hands. In addition, there are no specific dumps or question sets which are available for this exam, which also makes it difficult and more trustworthy as in certification, because you cannot pass it via some shortcuts. So that's why we can give you a proper guidance, but you have to put more effort from your side to pass through this exam. In case of any questions, you can write to us on our email ID, or you can call our support teams, or you can even do a chat on Techcanvass website with them. They'll also directly connect you to one of the trainers like me so that we can answer your queries. And that's it for CBAP. I think this webinar will be helpful for you to understand what this certification is all about. It can create a kind of curiosity in you, and you are ready to take the next step in your career. So thank you for joining this webinar. And if you are participating or trying to take this exam, all the best.